Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Legacy Survival. Today we're on version 1.5.2, and we're on the main menu here because things are a little bit different. So previously the texture packs button was here, along with the quick game, I believe. I haven't looked at a picture in a little bit. I probably should have done it before I started recording. But in its place would be the Minecraft Realms button. So Minecraft Realms was introduced in this update, but since I'm not subscribed to it, it's not here. And honestly, you wouldn't be able to see it anyways due to the outdated version. But if we go to the options menu, we can see that the texture packs menu is down in here, and the screen looks the same as it did. However, the way texture packs themselves work is a little different. So previously, blocks and items would all be in one texture file, and you would edit that one file if you wanted to change the texture pack. Now they're all split up into their own separate files, so things are a little bit more organized and easier to manage as far as texture pack goes. Another button here we have is multiplayer settings, and we can kind of change some of the chat settings that are here, which is cool. Additionally, one last setting that was changed, smooth lighting. Previously it was just on or on, now it's off, on or off. Now it's just off, minimum, or maximum. So without further ado, let's get into the world here. So we're starting off today's episode in the Nether, as there is a new block, or a new resource to gather, and some new blocks that come from it. So let's first start by mining some nether quartz. Oh, and off camera I got my Fortune 3 pickaxe back. Or rather, enchanted new one. Oh gosh, that's awful. Oh no! Oh no! Okay, well, we're gonna have to go back to that. And I'll talk about this later. Well, unfortunately, most of my stuff got completely burnt up in the lava. Fortunately, the fortune pick survived. Honestly, that was the one thing I care about. I can make the other stuff pretty easily, and I actually have a bunch of extra pickaxes back at home trying to enchant a new fortune pickaxe, so that's that. But let's get back to actually gathering some resources in the nether here, huh? So, as I was saying, nether quartz was added in this update, and most of the blocks that come with it were added. I think there's a few that aren't quite in yet, but we will talk about those once I have all of them. So, I'm going to mine a little more nether quartz, and then once I have enough to show what I want to show, I will come back. As I'm preparing to leave the nether, I may as well talk about some changes to lava here. So, first of all, the texture for lava has been changed in general. These guys are making me nervous now. And also, lava flows a lot faster in the nether. It flows kind of like water does in the overworld. So if I cause a bit of a mess here, but if I let this lava flow a bit, you'll see it flows a lot faster than it did previously. So there's that. And it will also generate in random pockets in the world, so now you have to be careful when you're strip mining through the nether, because that fast flowing lava will it'll sneak up on you and it'll hurt. I've definitely died more than a few times in my day to that. So let's head back to the base. So here we are. I've actually moved and built a completely new base here in this desert, a couple blocks out, kind of another portal jump, about 100 blocks from my last portal that you had seen previously. So I decided to generate some new terrain for two reasons. First of all, it'll make getting to even newer terrain easier from the main base. I won't have to run as far. And secondly, I think with more updates, the old base might get a little cluttered, so I decided to build this one with some expansion in mind. Also, between episodes, I grinded out some mining, and I finished our beacon, so we now have a fully powered beacon here, which is pretty awesome. So I'm going to head to the new base, and I also didn't do this on my own. I looked it up, but I made a fancy piston door for this one. just to show some more applications of pistons there. But we're going to close that. So now that we're here at the base, we have quite a bit of crafting to do. So I'm going to dip into my cheap materials chest here. And I am going to smelt up some netherrack because nether brick now has a crafting recipe. You don't just have to go find nether fortresses for it, although it's by far the easiest way. Instead, you can make nether bricks, and with these nether bricks, you can craft nether bricks. A little confusing to talk about, but you get the idea. So now that we're here, we can also do some crafting with this quartz. And I'm still actually not quite used to this layout yet, so you'll have to excuse me if I run around a little bit. So obviously the first thing we can make here is quartz blocks. So let's make some of these. If we stack these on top of each other, we get the quartz pillar, quartz slabs, quartz stairs, and finally we have chiseled quartz. So lots of new fancy blocks to use here with quartz. I don't really think I have any uses for them yet. As you can see, things are a bit of a mess here. I do plan to organize this, but haven't gotten around to it. Moving was a bit of a process. So as you can see, with these nether bricks, we can make... I don't think we can make the fences. No, we can't make the fences, but we can make the nether brick blocks. So those are now a lot more renewable. Alright, I am back. I've spent a large amount of time preparing my inventory because we have quite a bit of crafting to do. So 1.5 was dubbed the redstone update, and for good reason. There's a whole lot of new redstone contraptions we can make. So we are going to kind of rapid fire through the crafting here. First off is we have a way to sort of compact our redstone storage, and also a new way to power blocks that can be pushed with pistons. We have blocks of redstone, so no more redstone clogging up our chests. Just have to worry about the large amounts of coal I've gathered. That will not be compressible for a little while. Next up, we have daylight sensors, and there is no way I remember how to craft these. I probably should have looked at the recipe before I tried to make anything here. Let's see. Alright, here we go. So we need wooden slabs, we need quartz, and we need glass, and that makes one daylight sensor. So these things are kind of expensive, but they're pretty handy for making any sort of solar-powered contraption. Pretty nice. Next up, we have a sort of different version of the dispenser. Looks just the same, but we have the dropper, which just drops items instead of dispensing them. Next, we have one of my favorite items in this entire game. I'm going to make a couple chests here because I'm going to need some of these chests later. So we're just going to make those for now. And around a chest with some iron, we have the mighty hopper. I'm so glad to have these in. Makes things so much easier for me. So if I just make a couple of these, because I know what I'm going to do with them immediately. Make 4. I'm a little low on iron. I would actually be making more of these, but for now we are just going to deal with this. Put some chests here. And with hoppers, we now have automated smelting. Won't get experience from it, but that's no big deal. It's the price we pay for convenience. Next, we have another handy tool. I am still not used to using these, but I've used them in a few setups. In some semi-recent play, we have the comparator, and I have a build idea that I'll be showing with this later. Next, we have another very handy item for not exactly the reason that they intended, but still quite handy. And I guess it is handy for the reason they intended, but we have the trapped chest. So the main use of these, I find, personally, is we can't really place chests next to each other yet. However, with trapped chests, we can. So my cheap blocks chest was getting a bit full. Now I have another one right next to it. Pretty awesome. And of course, they output a redstone signal when you open them. And last little redstone device we're going to be making here, we have the weighted pressure plates. We have one with gold and one with iron. I don't really have an application planned out for these, but they're pretty handy for detecting multiple items. Now, in addition, again, I have to remember how to make this. It's been a little while. Let's see. So I'm going to make a couple pressure plates here. And with some iron, and those are the detector rails. I'm looking for activator rails here. Alright, here we go. We need a redstone torch. We need 2 sticks. And 6 iron ingots. We have activator rails. So these will be used for a little something. We have a pretty devious item. We have the minecart with TNT blowing stuff up, and I need to make another hopper here. Because we have the minecart with hopper. Another very useful item for large systems. I could, in theory, even use it here, but it seems a little extra. I'll just use some hoppers instead. So those are redstone changes here, our redstone crafting recipes. And you might have noticed as I was crafting, you might have noticed a lot of inventory controls were added this update. So kind of the modern stuff that you're used to seeing. So hold left click, you can drag all the items like that, evenly distribute them. Hold right click, and you just put one at a time. And then, as I showed there, if you double click, it'll drag all the items into a stack. Pretty handy. If you press E, or Q rather, it'll drop items one at a time from the inventory, so now you don't have to put them on your hotbar and drop them manually. And I think Control Q, yep, drops them all, just like before. And then if I click on a piece of armor in my hotbar, I can equip it from the hotbar instead of having to manually drag it. So I'm going to prepare to build a couple contraptions, or one contraption in particular, and I will come back when I'm ready for that. But before I build that contraption, we may as well have a little fun, right? So I made this minecart with TNT. I don't think I'm really going to have a practical purpose for it, so let's just blow up a cave, right? Just for fun. So we're just going to send it off and let it go. And honestly, pretty hefty explosion, all things considered. And it doesn't blow up the rails too, which is kind of nice, so we can reuse those. It does blow up the redstone, but who cares about that? So, anyways, enough distraction. Let's actually get to what I'm going to be doing. So, what I'm going to be making today is some fully automatic food production. I'm pretty sure I have everything I need for it in my inventory here. So first I'm going to build kind of the guts of the machine. So we need a hopper here connecting to this chest with a slab above it. We're going to put some glass here. This isn't necessary, but I kind of like to do it as a bit of a viewing port. Build some sandstone here. And around here as well. Craft a little more. Right here, we're going to put a lava bucket here. And then I'm going to make a little more sandstone. Actually, I'm going to just use normal sandstone for this. So then we want a dispenser facing this way. So I actually need to come over here again. Dispenser facing this way. A couple changes to dispensers, and I guess I can illustrate them with the droppers here. So the first change is that dispensers can be placed up like this, and they can also face directly down. Previously, it was only in the 4 horizontal directions. Now they can be placed vertically. Another thing, with the addition of droppers being able to drop all items, some additional functionality was added to dispensers, so it can now deploy armor onto a player, deploy active TNT. It can deploy bone meal, flint and steel, and it can, and now previously if you had powered a dispenser and it received any update, it would fire again. Now it only fires the moment it's powered. So dispensers work a little differently than they did previously. So now we are going to put a second hopper here and make sure there is plenty of space above it. If I put these here and here and here, we want that, and I'm going to need some slabs. So that's the main body of the machine done. Now we just need to fill it. Oh, and I guess I should cover up this lava. That's a little bit dangerous, isn't it? Take our sandstone slab, cover that up. Now, if we put some redstone around here, so there's a dispenser, right? We want a comparator to, when that dispenser gets an item in it, fire off a redstone signal. That will lead underneath the machine and into this hopper, which will be powered normally, so I need a redstone torch. And I need to be kind of careful about how I power this thing. If I do it wrong, this hopper here will get powered. Do I have any? Here, I can test it like this with a lever. I can't remember if this is how things work. I always forget when I'm building it like this. So that should, yeah, that'll still drop items in. Good. So, can break our lever here. Get another block of sandstone. And this will power our hopper without breaking anything, I think. Put some sandstone in there. Yep, that powers. And that doesn't activate the dispenser. But the hopper will... Oh, wait, I think I messed this up. Yeah, I did mess this up. Whoops. So what I need to be doing is when the dispenser gets an item, it needs to just power itself. For some reason, I was thinking I needed to turn this hopper off. I don't need to do that. That hopper can run all the time. What I need to be careful of is turning off this hopper in particular. So, let's get some more redstone running around here. With a little bit of sandstone here. And a little bit of sandstone here. So I think this might break the hopper. I haven't really checked yet. But when this dispenser gets an item in, it should allow it to immediately spew them out. Unless I messed up my comparator here. Oh, that's right. I need to strengthen the signal. I forgot about that part. I guess it's been a little while since I built this thing, huh? So let's empty this out. And I guess I will use... Can I use a redstone torch here? If I get a single piece of redstone in there. Yes, I can. So I'll do that. I'll get that redstone torch there. And now I'm going to need a second torch. We can put that one right here, I think. Hopefully, again, not breaking anything here. There we go, so that powers it. So now whenever this receives an item, it should just spit it out. And hopefully, I powered the hopper, didn't I? It's because I powered this block, isn't it? Okay. I think I can move this then. So this should, in theory, work. Let's put an item in our dispenser here, or in our hopper. Yep, so now whenever that hopper receives an item, it powers the dispenser, just pops it out here, and this chest will pick it up just fine. But that's not really the point. The point is that with these eggs, hopefully I can throw some chickens in here. And if I get unlucky, I'll just explain it myself. Yeah, I'll have to get some later. But now we'll have chickens lay eggs. As soon as they lay eggs, it'll go into the dispenser. Dispenser will spit it out here. And when the baby chicken grows up, it will get burnt up by the lava, but not while it's a baby because it's too short. And cooked chicken and feathers will immediately go into this chest here. So we now have fully automated cooked chicken production, or at least we will as soon as I get some chickens. So yeah, we'll cut away here and move on to the next part. And now it's time for that part of the episode where I rattle off a whole bunch of miscellaneous changes that don't really fit into some of the greater sections of this video. So first, enchanted books can now be combined to increase their effect. So we'll take these and we'll put them away. Secondly, kind of also involving anvils, if you rename a container and you put it down, it'll show the name at the top where it would normally show the name of the item. So now that it's just a normal dropper, you can see it's dropper. Pretty cool. Kind of cute, I guess, for mapping and stuff for custom maps. Stairs no longer break sprinting. You can now sprint up and down stairs. Hooray. Also, the bounding box for corner fences was changed a little bit, so you can walk in them easier and hit them easier. If we come back over here to our crafting area, snow blocks can now be crafted into snow layers like so, and these layers can be placed on top of each other. Like that. And for every layer, it drops a single snowball. Get rid of those. Water. So you might remember in old versions of Minecraft, if you wanted to build like a deep lake, you kind of had to fill it all the way up from the bottom. It was a real pain. This is the version that fixed that. So previously, I could get, infinite water sources like so, all along the bottom here. But if I wanted to fill up the top, I'd have to manually place every bucket of water. Now, as long as there's a water source underneath it, it'll fill up manually. So that is a massive help for builders. Anything deeper than 3 or even 1, anything deeper than 2 or even 1 block was a real pain in the butt to build. And last but not least, I can talk about the nerfs to bone meal. So previously, bone meal was great. It would instantly grow anything. Now it grows it in stages. Unfortunate, but what can you do? And trees will take multiple bone meal to grow instead of just being grown instantly. Let's see if any of my saplings are over here. Yes, I can do with a birch sapling here. So now you're going to see, instead of growing instantly, I have to use a couple on it. And finally, in regards to monsters, zombies will now see you from a bit further away than before. They can see from 40 blocks away. Although this guy, not quite the smartest fellow. If they're on fire and they hit you, they will set you on fire. I don't really want to illustrate that, and kind of in the same vein of things I don't really want to illustrate, the more hurt the zombie is, the more damage it will deal to you. Skeletons will shoot faster the closer that you are, and they can shoot from a little further bit away than they used to. So that's everything in the redstone update. Obviously, there's a lot more applications of those redstone devices I could show off, but I'm a little small brain when it comes to stuff like that, so I stuck with something simple, auto food cooker, which is pretty helpful. And with that, I guess I will see you all next time.